At least this week is quiet compared to the storm we were expecting last week. And, had yours truly definitely working real hard. So this is a nice and easy one, and I'm really looking forward for a break. And we got it.
Yeah, a nice warm up for the end of the year, a nice beginning, a warm beginning to the start of the new year. I'm still looking at these news reports coming out of Buffalo, Pat, and
Yeah.
it's so scary. They're finding dead bodies in snowbanks. They're children, adults. Stores have been looted and ransacked because people can't get
Hmm.
out.
Yeah.
It's an absolute amazing story. Police are trying to patrol the streets and tell people to get off them and stuff like that. And now they're expecting this warm up where this snow, the 60 some inches of snow, could all melt down and cause flooding problems.
Yeah. Well, right now in Buffalo, it's 41. 41 degrees in Buffalo right now. And they're saying, the National Weather Service is saying that temperatures will range from the mid 40s right along Lake Erie shore to 50 inland today. And Friday, they're in the mid 50s. Saturday, low 50s. New Year's Day, mid 40s. So they are above freezing throughout. And that means a lot of melting. And they'll get rain on top of that.
And
Rain's coming in Friday night into Saturday.
And also, what it means is that the lakes are not going to freeze over right away. And if another cold front or a cold blast comes across those lakes, they could be back in the cruncher again.
And yeah, there's no doubt about that. You're right.
It's amazing
Yep.
because you hear people from Buffalo complaining, and they never complain. They never complain about the weather. But this winter has been so fickle and unbelievable that to hear people from Buffalo complain about snow is it's unheard of. It's
Yeah,
unheard of.
in our long range forecast, we forecasted New Year's to keep along an umbrella in the long range forecast. So that's going to pan out. Now we'll see if the winter forecast pans out because I am expecting, or was expecting January to be one of the worst months. And right now I'm looking at the long range computer models, and they're not indicating that at all. But that doesn't mean that they're right and I'm wrong, and vice versa. So we will just have to see how these patterns shape up as we go into the new year.
All right, yeah, we have, by the way, if you're interested in Pat's long range forecast, if you go to robinhoodradio.com and scroll to the bottom of the page, we always post the current weather forecast, but we also have underneath that Pat's long range winter forecast broken out by month. So you can always check that out there as well. All right, so now that you've got plenty of time on your hands here, you must be a busy bee around your house.
Yeah, I'm doing things. I had to fix the water filter on the sink. I did that. Yesterday, I went out and I put my um, calibrated snow gauge or ruler, whatever you want to call it, into the ground where where there, where we can get a good even fix on the snow. So I did that. Um, I had to adjust some of my outdoor sensors for the weather station, and I did that. Trying to think what else I did. Um, oh, how could I miss it? I started with this office, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go through this office like Grant took Richmond, and I started, and I went from one end to the other, and I threw out stuff that just wasn't needed anymore.
Oh my
So I got boxes, and I threw it out and cleaned that all up. And the only thing I have to do now is get all of the files from 22 out of the desk, mark them, put them in like a box, mark that, put it away, and get ready for 23.
How long do you really keep those files to try to keep them?
My accountant told me to keep everything for 7 years.
Yep, 7 years. What about the statistical files and stuff like that? You just store those on computer?
They're on computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And there are some clients, like for instance, the World Trade Center, that requires that we keep all our forecast archived. So we keep those archived in case we have to go back to say, well, this is what the forecast was from here. So that's all archived.
And yeah, that's what they call forensic weather. And how many times a year are you contacted by lawyers? Because obviously, if somebody claims an accident or something happened because of the weather, um, the lawyers fighting it are going to go back and see.
Oh yeah, it that depends. I mean, sometimes they come in spurts. Other times they come in all of a sudden. You get a whole bunch of them. But we do that throughout the year. In fact, AJ's working on one right now. I forget where it is, but he's working on that right now, and I know he has to research it. It was a slip and fall where someone claims there was ice on the ground, and they're suing the place that had the ice on the ground. Most of those are slip and falls, but in the past we have had some very interesting cases. You know, where a murder took place down in New Orleans, and they're claiming the witness that says they saw blah 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 blah. Well, the defendant saying that that's impossible. They couldn't have seen them because the night was foggy. There was dense fog. So we had to go back and research the records and see, and the hours, and report the hours of the conditions and how foggy it was or wasn't. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I remember another one where an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico caught fire and several people were killed. They claimed that the fire was caused by lightning. So we had to research and get the radar reports to see if thunderstorms and cloud-to-ground lightning was a cause of that, or was it a cause of the oil rig itself? You know, so the liability there was pretty critical. And I remember working on that case for a long, long time.
You know, it stretches out with us on our local access TV station. We cover town meetings, and more and more and more and more lawyers go to our website and ask for permission to download meetings because they use it in putting together their briefs. If they get turned down or if something like that happens, they use them for further court proceedings. The video of those meetings. That's the forensic experience nowadays with lawyers is pretty amazing. But it's always been there with weather forecasters. I mean, even before you had all these computers and everything like that, weather forecasters always have been contacted about things like this.
Oh yeah, and again, the business has slackened off, and the reason it's slackened off because now there's a lot more information available on the website, and attorneys go to the website and they think they're getting the information they need, and then after they do all the research and all of this stuff, they wind up calling us because they need explanations.
And they need verification. Yeah, that's exactly
yeah, and
right.
they don't understand, like the raw data that is on the website and how to interpret it and what it means and stuff like that. So most of the attorneys will just come to us and say, give me an idea of what you can do, how much it's going to cost. A lot of people need certified. We have to go down to the Climate Center and get certified copies, and that's not free. They charge us, we charge them.
All right, what's charge the forecast as we wrap up today?
Well, again, a nice day, sunny to partly cloudy. 45 to 50, low 30s tonight, 50 to 55, partly sunny Friday. Showers late Saturday, low 50s. Showers early Sunday, then mid 50s.
And we'll speak to you tomorrow on Friday. Now, you're going to have Monday off, right?
I will have Monday off, and I am looking so forward to that.
And who do you have working Monday for you here?
Dan Henry.
Oh, Dan's going to be even on Monday. All right.
Dan will be in on Monday.
Well, we'll speak to you tomorrow, Pat. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Pat Pagano this morning in the Weather Center with a check at our tri-state forecast here on the Breakfast Club on Robin Hood Radio.